Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me. We're going to create a card today. We're using the Woodland Tales 12x12 paper pack. I think hindsight, I think it would be probably nicer if you were to get the 6x6 paper pad. I chose the 12x12 because I thought maybe I could stretch out the pattern paper, but the images in here you can see are very large. And so a 6x6 would be scaled down. But aren't these images beautiful? The mushrooms are stunning. They even have, some of them have gold accent on them. Really pretty. Look how gorgeous this one. This is frame worthy. And I think just to put this on an A2 card, I think you're going to miss most of the beauty of it. So I'm going to work with this today to kind of, maybe this little pattern will fit pretty on a card, but I really suggest the 6x6 paper pad. I'll list them both down below. But aren't these patterns just gorgeous? So we'll be using the 12x12 Woodland Tales paper on the background of my card. And then part of the Woodland Tales collection, and these are from Spellbinders, they have some coordinating dies that go with the theme. These are the Woodland Tales sentiments. We're going to be using the hello on our card today. And then we have the Woodland Tales Floral. This creates a real pretty floral. And then we have the Fern. The Fern's just gorgeous. We'll be doing a little die cutting today. So first, let's start by doing our die cutting. I have a piece of vellum, and I'm going to cut out the Fern. And then for my flowers, we're going to do some ink blending with some white cardstock. And I'm going to be using my Distress Oxide inks today. These are the colors we're going to use. I thought they went really well with the pattern papers. And I kind of like you see how they have the little two tones of the flowers? I thought maybe we could kind of emulate that for our flowers. So these are the colors. So white cardstock we're going to use. For my leaf, we're going to be using some Spellbinders Sage cardstock. To create the flower, there's two pieces to it, and then there's some folded over petal pieces in the flower center. I'm going to cut this out 2 times because I want 2 sets of flowers, same with the leaves. I am going to cut out my greeting for hello. I love that there's shadows in here. So hello shadow with white. And then the hello, I'm using Spellbinders graphite? No, lunar gray cardstock. So I'm going to run everything through my die cut machine, and I will be right back. Okay, I switched my grip mats, and I also, it's not centered here, but bear with me because I'm using a different camera. And so my other camera, I've gotten comments saying the images were a little bit blurry, so I switched cameras, and it's a learning curve, so bear with me. My screen may be a little bit off-centered and or crooked, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm hoping to give you a better viewing experience with a new camera. But I do have takes me a little bit of time to learn the learning curve with it. Okay. So let's take our flowers. We're going to color in these first. We're going to start by doing our ink blending, and I have my oxide inks. We're going to start with Scattered Straw. I'm just using my blending tools here. And I want to mention that I do want some white sections on my flower. So we're going to focus on the debossed areas of these flowers, because that's where these are going to go, and I want to keep these white. These are the folding over petals. So there's a petal here, here, and here that have here, here, and here that have the that piece that you're going to add. So I'm just going to add a little extra ink here and leave the rest of it white. And on these flower petals, there's only one piece that you're going to add. So I'm going to concentrate on one side here, where we're going to add one of these little pieces. And I hope I'm making sense. When I add them, you'll see what I mean. Okay, so a little bit of yellow. And then I'm going to bring in my Ripe Persimmon. And this is a pretty vibrant orange. And so I'm going to lightly go over it. Oops. And I'm looking at this section here that we're going to be using. Okay, let's bring in the paper trimmer. And we're going to trim at 3.5. And then I'm going to trim at 5.5 because this is going to go the length of my card base. Okay, I'm going to bring in my card base, and I'm also going to do a little bit of die cutting. I'm going to be using the basic borders die, and I'm going to cut out a strip with this border here. And then I'm also going to be using some silver cardstock in my treasured cardstock pack. And we're going to be using the mirror metallic. I'm going to cut down a thin strip of this. Okay, I'm going to take my, I didn't get it completely straight, but that's okay. Most of it's going to be covered anyway. I'm going to add some adhesive behind here. I'm going to adhere it to my scalloped edge. And then I'll adhere this to the left of my card base. And then I'm going to add my pattern paper to the left here. I always like to add a little bit of daintiness to vintage style cards. Okay, I'm going to bring in my corner rounder, and I'm going to round this top corner. Because we're going to be left heavy on the bottom. Now on these flowers, they have the little circle, and they're meant to add the flower to. But what I'm going to do is just trim off the leaf portion. And we're going to do a little tucking with this. I'm going to add a little glue here. It's going to give me a little bit of time to tuck it. I'm also going to add my fern. I'm going to go with the same direction, and I'm just going to tuck it underneath here. I think it's going to give this a little softness. Add a little glue and do a little tucking here. Then I have my hello. We're going to go ahead and add this. We'll tack this down. And then for finishing touches, I'm going to bring in some of my Spellbinders Color Essential Gems. I'm going to use silver. And we're going to add some gems to our background. And that will finish off my card for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.